Welcome to another edition of the Bandwagon Podcast. And today I've got a guest that probably I'm guessing that a lot of you may not have predicted. But let's just get into it. And let me introduce you, Mr. ADH. Amo, good day.
What's happening, brother? You good, yeah?
Yeah. I'm good. Firstly, Amo, where have you been?
I've been relaxing, brother. Relaxing. Stuck at home with COVID.
You're looking really, really well, to be honest.
It's amazing what you can do with filters these days, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it depends how people are listening to this podcast, whether they're watching it or they're listening through it. But I will say that you haven't aged at all.
Mate, when you're nearly 40, when you're nearly mid-40s, it's natural, isn't it? It's going to come on, yeah.
Does that mean the Smethwick and West Brom beer is actually pretty good for you then?
I think it might be the fact that I moved out of Smethwick. What's more, that probably helped me. Do you know what I mean?
A far more exotic location, where like Smethwick or anywhere else.
I've gone to Langley from Smethwick. I've gone to West Brom. Really pushed the boundaries out now. Stourbridge, brother. Stourbridge.
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. So I'm always it was one of those things where seen you a lot more active online, and obviously we've got a connection that goes back many years.
Yeah.
And I just thought, something. So someone actually put up a post, and they was like, "Oh, I remember this song," and I was like, something. Nobody knows, man. Let's just have a chat. Let's see how he's getting on.
Yeah, man. Cool. Thing is, I think last year, at some point during COVID, that Sananda Sharma used one of the tunes and done a TikTok reel thing to it. And I had loads of people tapping me up after that, saying, "Yo," I was like, "This cool, man."
But music in itself is not, the journey is not just something that was kind of you just fell upon. You've been involved in the music scene for a very long time in like Panjabi folk and promotion of that. Can you just tell me in terms of how you got and how you started that journey?
Basically, since I was a little kid, I always used to listen to cassettes and Vision Rental on Smethwick High Street.
Yeah,
I used to go in there every week, 2-3 times a week. My uncle used to be there, and I remember the first cassette I bought. I was probably about 6 years old. Dance with a Laugh.
Then, so you went straight for like London bands then.
Well, then obviously at that time, Birmingham bands wasn't really recording any Apna Sangeet and stuff came after that, Anna. So I remember when I was about 7 to 8 years old, I went to the Pop Awards at the Dome, and my cousin used to dance from Nacht de Haste, which Vida from Red Cow used to manage at that time and run. And they was playing at the Pop Awards, so I said, "Look, I want to go." So my dad sent me with my cousin to dancing with them at that time, and saw all the bands and stuff there when I was about between 7 and 8, I think I was. And then after I used to have a drawer at home, so I got the cassettes and put them all into lines, like all of Gardas Mans in line in order of release, Apna Sangeet, Hira, Brave Me, Bindra Kia, every artist going, DCS, Shakti, Supreme Mulkeet. I used to collect this chest of drawers with about 5 drawers in, rammed with cassettes. And so just always been something, even though I moved away from Smethwick to Canuck, which is a bit of a Gora area, a bit of a culture shock. And but always stuck on it, do you know what I mean? Always attracted to it.
And was there a particular sound that you used to be going for? Because with a lot of those bands that you've mentioned, they got very distinctive sounds. So one person might be fan of a band and not necessarily the other one.
That wasn't the sort of diehard just one. Used to listen to music overall, but when I was younger, Apna Sangeet and Gardas Man, these are the guys just like basically rinse off all the time. And so just grew from there. I learned Panjabi from the music, from listening to cassettes and songs. Do you know what I mean?
I think a lot of us did. I think a lot of us did at that time, like Punjabi schools, and I don't know that. Even when I was at Handsworth, especially on my mates and people around my road, they didn't really go to like Punjabi school that often. It was mainly.
I've never been.
I never went, but you can probably tell. And then from your music journey, then, so you said you had like a cousin who was in Nazi Hasta. Did you then go and start performing with them or get involved with that?
No, after that, just sort of carried on doing what I was doing. Then probably when I was about 17, 18, I think probably, I sent a cassette to Amarjit Dhanda in West Brom. And then he came back, said, try X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So then after that, I joined Gobru Panjabi, like with Popeye and Sodi and everyone. And started backing Sodi. Then Sodi left. Then it became myself doing the bowling. Then we went to Canada and we won the bhangra competition over there in Toronto. Then I was at a wedding where Bobby was at the table room and he come up to me after, do you want to do some recording and stuff? And he introduced me to Ninda Joel. Then I met Ninda Joel. This was probably when I was about
So Ninda Joel, he was natural. So you've gone from Amarjit Dhanda was Gummely Records, and then you've gone to...
No, like I didn't like with Amarjit, to be honest, I didn't ever do any recording or anything like that. He just gave me some advice. Like, go down this path or try this or try that, blah, blah, blah. So after that, then I joined Gobru Punjab, then met Ninda Joel, then recorded. And then the first time I recorded was with Cam Frantic in the Frantic Studios in Spark Hill.
So I know you've just gone over kind of like a little bit of probably about 5 years very quickly, yeah. But I just want to go back to something that you said. You talked about Gobru Punjab Day. Gobru Punjab Day is world famous Punjabi folk dancers. Like, to just walk it in there and start doing backing vocals is not just necessarily an easy thing, because those guys in that group at that time were very, very well known, very headstrong, some of the characters. How did you kind of break into that? You know, you're a young kid. Those guys are established for many years. All the guys we've known for years. We grew up around them, so we already had a sort of a mutual respect and understanding of each other, and so it's just naturally just sort of started going to the rehearsal. They still at Daisy Junction in West Brom upstairs on a Friday night. So I started going to rehearsals. I come from Cannock to come to the rehearsals, and then just worked through the rehearsals for a couple of months, and then learned all the routine. Were you a dancer first then? Were you a dancer first?
No. Just with the bowling. Yeah. And
then what was that like? Because like Sodi's like legendary singer.
Basically when I went there the first time, I couldn't even they're just doing the routine, they're doing rehearsals, and then Sodi is chair and goes, Pankarla fe. I was like, what? What do you want to do? He goes, do it, and then there's a guy called Benson used to be on the door, and he started playing the door, and I was like, what do I even do here, man? I was like thinking, what am I doing here? And obviously, he's a bit quite intimidating for all these guys that have known for years in the Bhangra. They've formed of Gobru Punjab, and there's up and down the country all the time. And then they're saying, look, just do it. So it's a great idea till I got there. Then I was like, what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? And so touch wood, then just absolutely, because I knew the guys, it's easier to sort of gel with them and get back into it. It's really supportive. So it's cool.
I mean, it's a bit similar to what Mike Tyson says, doesn't it? He goes like, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. So like, you've almost taken that approach when you went to have your rehearsal.
I remember when I pulled up outside and I drove off 3 times thinking I can't do it. I can't go. So it's like, regardless of what I wanted to do, still to this day, I'm still like a very shy sort of person. So like, if I go somewhere where it's like immediate families there, an event or something, I sort of crumble. I can't look in certain directions. I have to keep away. But if there's people I don't know, then just go and do it. Do you know what I mean?
So how old were you at that point when you were doing
with Gobru's probably about 20, I think, 19, 20 when I started with the Gobru's. Then I recorded when I was 21.
And was that an aspiration to become like a full-time singer, or was it just
obviously like,
or fame, or just basically getting free food at weddings and booze?
The worst of that, on Sundays you don't even drink. So half the time we just go there to be the driver all the time. And so obviously like when you when you've been listening and everyone's got a passion, do you know what I mean? And obviously at that time, music was my passion, and I used to watch all these bands playing all the time, all these singers from India coming over, and so it's obviously something that you always want to do or aspire to do, be on the stage and X, Y, and Z, and there's certain people that you'd love to work with. So my thing was always more of a Sean thing, that I want to do it, and I want to work with this person, I want to work with that person, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I've been very fortunate that a lot of it did come through. So it's just building step by step, really. Like when you get to one step, think, right, I'm going to move there now. It's just natural progression.
So when you were going to 21 and you were like said, right, okay, I'm going from being in a bhangra team singing and then going into kind of recording, who were your peers at that time? What was the market like at that time? What year was this?
That was 21. So probably around the year 2000, 2001-ish, sort of. And it wasn't like the plan wasn't to suddenly start recording. I was at a wedding. Bobby come up to me from the crowd after we finished and, look, do you want to do this? I got a concept I want to do. Introduced me to Ninda Joel. And it just happened. Like, I met him and he gave me this contract, like 48 pages long. Put on the table. I thought it was some dissy sort of, oh, chal kar lene aapa, koi gal nahi, aapa kar lene. But when he dropped this contract, it was 48 pages, all like official. I was like, shit, this is getting real, this is. And now, see, when he mentioned he's got recorded Cam Frantic, and also at that time he had Manja RDB working, doing production for him as well. So to me, that was like, yo, because Cam Frantic was smashing it at that point. RDB were everywhere at the time. So I was like, do you know what I mean? It's let's do it.
Because I remember when you came onto Radio XL at that time, because we used to obviously see each other in sportsmen quite often. And then at that time when you were coming out, like, was it a single first that you came out with, and then? Yeah,
there's a single that there's a compilation that on a feature 2 tunes on, and then there's a track, a cover of a track called Sada Munda Tu Patia by an artist called Makbool, and there was Manmohan Varis cover of Mundiane Pangra Pona, and then I started working on an album in the background. And I remember as a kid, this would be like the Days for Days. I was going to my cousin's house because his dad used to buy the Days for Days every week, and I was flick through it for like new release covers, like adverts. And on the back page, you used to have some adverts of bands where they have their numbers and writers. And when I was going to start recording, I went to their house to get the Days for Days because I remember at the back there's a number of Uncle Jandulitrawale, and I thought I'm gonna go and see Uncle when I do it. And so I went there to my cousin, got the number, contacted Uncle, went to Wolverhampton, sat down with him, went through some song selection, and then we started recording.
But to go from like 2-3 singles and go straight to the album, was that the? I'm looking. The albums was a peak thing then anyway. But like for you, like a new singer to come straight with the album, where today's kind of methodology is to like single. This year, 2021 and 2022 has been definitely seen the return of albums and EPs again. At that time, what was the pressure like in order to get an album? Because Ninda Joel was giving you this contract, you signed. I'm guessing you signed it, and then you go into it, and then you're like, okay, I need to make an album. So you got the writer, but then how do you choose the producers and all of these things? What was your selection process?
At that time, like, obviously I had the Cam Frantic and I had Manja RDB. So I went with the song selection up to Leeds, to the Untouchable Studios, where RDB used to work. And at that time, like Manj, Cooley, Serge, was all there. And 3-4 of us lads went from Birmingham, went up to Leeds, and I said to Man, listen, these are songs I've selected, what do you reckon? And he was like, yeah, cool, that's cool. I said, this is what I want, this style. This song I want this style. This is the style I want this one. He goes, yeah, cool. So he got, leave them with me, let me see how I get on with them. So he ran me by about 2 weeks later, and he'd done like demos of about 3 of the tracks. And then we just decided to roll with Manj just to finish off all the tunes. And then a videos book, which was on a 3-strong medley. And so just like naturally just rolled and rolled. And at that time, RDB used loads of gigs. So what Manj used to do was, when they'd go and do a gig on the night, when he'd mix the song or got a demo, he'd play in the gig when they're performing on the night or whatever they're playing, just to get the reaction. And like, obviously, because you're excited, it's the first time you're doing it. Man used to ring. I said, man, do you know you're going to play my tune? Ring me. So they'd be in the DJ booth ringing me to wake me up like at 2:30 in the morning just to play the tunes. And because obviously at that time, it's like a dream. It's like a bubble. Like, oh my God, RDB doing the music.
Nothing's getting leaked at that time as well. Nothing's getting leaked then.
Trust me, yeah. And so that was like, is a good sort of, the way it's like, it's all sort of just step by step fell in my lap. So I didn't have to really go out searching too much. Do you know what I mean? Like even with the contract, it happened by chance. We're doing a bhangra show at the Tower Ballroom, and I got approached there. And then we done the first album, which is I Want It All. Then straight away started working on the second album. And then I got an opportunity to do a video with Colossus and get it released in India. And they're the guys who done all of Manmohan Waris and Kamali's videos at the times, like with Baith Ke Trinjanat Soni Kente Wala, Nachi Magajane. Then I done the second video for Nag as well. So these guys, I was focused in my head, I want to do a video with Colossus. And Kuldeep, through mutual friends, we got a deal in India. And Kuldeep, that company in India, only used Colossus for their videos.
Was that your second album then?
Second album.
What was the reaction and how was the first album received?
Like obviously, like the first time, like it's touched. It went down pretty well because obviously, man, doing the music. The music was quite current. Obviously, in them days, you'd be Zoom Music Box. They would sit at home watch the music videos on with the dialing thing.
That used to be classic, man. I remembered when I came back from I used to do XL then. I used to go into the record shops and they'd always be on the phone. I was like, these guys are proper busy. There's no one in the shop. They're all just dialing Z Music.
Dialing in for their songs.
Yeah, make sure that the song was coming on.
And I remember because at that time the number used to be 777 of the first video. And like even when I was shooting the video, when I done the one in the UK, we got there and there was Surinder, who was Cam Franti's brother, and 2 people with him. And there's 4 of us. The 7 of us doing the whole video. Was like, like people think it's really glamorous, all this and that and the other. But then a year and a half later, when I went to India, there's about 150 people on the set. We had 4 days of rehearsals. Shot the video in Mumbai. So it's a totally different scene over there. And obviously the budget was totally on a different scale compared to the first time. So it's so I got to see both sides of it. So I've been very lucky. Obviously, people like Baldio, worked with him for the videos. Ballistic, we worked with them. Colossus in Mumbai. Went to Canada to shoot with Baldio. So then even with the producers, then after I'd done that second album, which was For Folk's Sake, we had a track on there. We had the late Devraj Jasalji was one of the writers on there. We had Uncle Jandalitranwale. So there's been a mix of writers, and so I got a chance to work with different writers then as well. And then that was actually when, on For Folk's Sake, was when the first version of the Manak Saab duet came out.
Yeah.
Manak Saab was in the UK doing some shows, and there's a promoter called Guinea. And we done a show, and he goes to me, Yar, just do a song with Manak, man, while he's there. I said, shut up, what are you talking about, man? Right. I said, what? Yar, shut up, man. Right. And but he put that kira in my head. Because when them people, if I got something in my head, I won't stop till I do it. So I approached, there's Kang from Wolverhampton and Yamalapai. Them 2 was looking after Manak Saab at that time. So I approached them. They goes, okay, we'll speak to Manak Saab. And they goes, yeah, let's do it. I was like, that's it. They went, yeah, cool. So the next day, they went to Uncle Jandal Technology's house. Manak Saab and Uncle stayed together all day and picked the song. I got there on the evening, and they picked the song that they want to do. And Manak Saab was going, this is the tune we're going to do tomorrow. I was like, okay. So they booked MPM Studios in Warsaw. It's a Gore studio in Karma. So we got there in the morning, picked them up, took them. And I thought, you know what? I'll just do mine in my own time afterwards. And Manak Saab goes, Jalafi, yeah. I was looking around thinking, what are you talking about? He goes, come on. So the way that was recorded, both of us in the booth together, we both sang the song straight through, back to back, twice over, like vocals back to back. And it was recorded, done.
Hold on. So, like, you're under 25 years of age at this point. Okay, right?
Trust me.
Yeah. So you've done 2 albums. You've done your first album.
Work on the second one, yeah.
Yeah. So you're in a car with not just anyone, arguably the greatest singer, Punjabi folk singer of all time.
Yeah.
And then he goes, get in the booth with me, and you're gonna sing. Like, I can't even understand. I can't even work out at what stages that what you're thinking and how you're gonna, you got from Sunday to Manak in the course of a few years.
And no, so I think that was in 2003 stroke 4, and 2004, sorry. So even that just happened by chance. Guinea put the idea in my head. I touched base with them, and they goes, "Yeah, let's do it." Then the next day they picked the song, and the Ekden Shadke was in the studio, and I just thought naturally, Manak would do his vocals, send them on to Manj, and it'll be fine, and I'll do mine after. And he goes, "No, aaya hun, kariye." And I was like, "Oh my God, what is going on here?" Right. So luckily, Bob we banged it out, right?
What did he give you any advice of what were you, any mistakes that you were doing when you were recording, or
I swear to God, I swear to God, right? Bob Biddy song, even I couldn't understand it. At that point, we both just sang the song straight through, verse by verse, twice, and it's done. We didn't even stop.
He was happy with it.
Yeah, man. I was like, yo, and I was sweating. I was literally shitting myself. Do you know what I mean? And but obviously, then we finished it. Then we went and got some food and that. It's cool. So it's like that was another thing that was totally unplanned, unthought of. It was unthinkable. Do you know what I mean? And so
because he was known to be very direct, wasn't he? Especially in terms of if you got anything to say, you would just say it from there. And that's why I'm saying, like, if he was going to say something to you, he would have said it to you straight away.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's what, because I know, like, Manak is so direct, don't beat around the bush, doesn't mince his words, doesn't smother you. I was thinking, when he said, I have here, I was like, nah. But touch wood, God was looking down that day and we got away with it.
Did you learn? What did you learn then from, like, your first album to your second album then? Because you've done it back to back. And even when I do this kind of podcast, there's little things that I try and learn, and you're learning, you're constantly. What were some of the big lessons that you discovered?
Obviously, like, it's practice is a lot. Do you know what I mean? Confidence is a lot. But I think telling people how you want to do something rather than being told or not putting your opinion forward. Because if I want to do something in a certain way, and then you're asking me to do it in another way, but I'm not saying to you how I want to do it, I won't be comfortable. You've got to be comfortable in what you're trying to do. So I think always give your opinion, practice it, and just don't do it to please other people. Do what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? What makes you happy? And then that's what it's all about. Because like I said, I just done my stuff from Shank. It's just something I'd always wanted to be like, do. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't money orientated. It wasn't money motivated. It's just like, when you go to a show and you're playing your tunes and people are singing your stuff back or dancing, or when you come on, you get a good buzz. That is the most valuable thing you can get. Because people are connected with you. Do you know what I mean?
Were you the same ADH in terms of on stage and off the stage?
Now, like I said, like, myself, even now, I'm still like quite a shy person. Do you know what I mean? So when you're on stage, like, obviously you feed off it. Like when the crowd's buzzing, having a good time, you sort of play with them. Do you know what I mean? But if someone said to me, like, sit in the pub now, start singing, for example, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, yeah, like that. But it's just the way I've been programmed. You know what I mean? And it's so then after that, for folks' sake, we did. Then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna give it one hit once. If it works, it works. So then we were doing a ladies' night, performing at a ladies' night at Samson's, and there was Jazzy B there, B21, and when Booter Jagpal come off the stage, and we all sort of left at the same sort of time, and I said to him, I said, "Excuse me, Booter." He went, "Yeah, what's up?" I said, "Look, blah 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 blah. If you don't mind, right, I'd like you to like do a tune for me." And he's like, "Yeah, cool, come and see me." I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, man, sorted." Because Booter Jagpal was like, do you know what I mean? All the Suffree stuff, the B21 stuff, lots of Sadara Gill stuff.
Icon.
Wicked geezer, do you know what I mean? And so then, after I met Booter, I had a hit list of who we were going to go to. So
a bit like this podcast.
then from Booter, I went to Zeus. I went to Zeus, I want you to do some tunes for me. Even if it's Ghost production or whatever, do you know what I mean? Let's do it. And I said, look, Booter's doing it. So, because that was my sort of trump card. If Booter Jagpal's doing it, yeah, cool, let's do it. Do you know what I mean? So that was my sort of saving grace there. Yeah. So then the thing was, the tracks that I'd picked, because Happy Baines, I got some tunes off there at that time. There's Dev Raj Jasalji, there's Uncle Jandal Trawale. But Booter and Zeus picked the same tune to do. So I was like, shit. And I couldn't say no to either of them. So they started working on that. Then I went to Oman. Oman done some stuff for me. And then I went into Movie Box the one day. I didn't really know Cameron that well at that point. And as I was leaving, if you're going to work on anything else, let me know and see how you're getting on.
So you had no label. You had no label at this point, as when you
second one I did on my own because I wanted to do that deal in India with the Colossus video.
Yeah.
So I scratched the deal with India and then went and done the second one on our own, basically, for that deal in India. And then with that, we've done shows in India with Mika Singh. We've done a PTC show with Jazzy. Is mental. Do you know what I mean? And so then I met Cameron, and Cameron goes, when you're doing some new stuff, let me know. I look, to be honest, I've started working on something. He goes, oh, who's doing it, Manj again? I went, no. I says, I got Booter Jagpal, Zeus is doing some, and Omane's doing some stuff. And he went, Booter Jagpal's doing something. At that time, B21 and Movie Box had their sort of issues of so-called friction. He goes, because Cameron is a massive Booter Jagpal fan from back in the day. He grew up on it. And I got some snippets in the car if you want to hear them. He went, yeah, man, play with me. So I took the CD upstairs in the old Movie Box. Played him the style onto a couple of the tunes. He goes, what do you want for this album? How do you want to do a deal? I was like, well, I'll spend the money on the master because it's all nearly done anyway. But I want videos and the promo back to balance what we're doing. He goes, yeah, we can do some videos. We've got Sai Honey, we've got this, we've got that. And at that time, the Dildari album was out with Amrinder Gill. And his videos were off the hook. Right. And then the Surma video come out as well. And there was obviously Baldio's videos. I said, I want a video with Baldio, minimum. Like, he's got to do one of the videos at least. And to be respect to Cameron, he rang Baldio there and then, booked 2 videos and booked my flight while I was sitting there. Just stop listening to the style and a couple of the tracks. So just for me, just thinking I'm gonna try it once properly, go to work with everyone I want to Cameron's having a passing conversation with me because I popped into the Movie Box generally. 2, within an hour of that, my flight was booked to Canada and 2 videos were booked. So then we done the Pulgi video. Then by the time the videos came around, I've got Bali Jagpal on side as well. He was doing a track or a couple of tracks. So on the back of that,
Bali was in the background. Then he kind of was he making his exit out, or was he still there or thereabouts?
They've done some stuff with. He featured on the Limpons video with Zeus in it, in the Ani Kuriya Jani Kuriya track. So he's still on the scene then doing that. General Levy one, Shake What Your Mama Gave You.
Yeah.
Around that sort of time. But I had to like I told Booter that, listen, pal, I know you lot I ain't with Movie Box, but this album's going to Movie Box. Do you know what I mean? So I've sort of done deal with Cameron. And I'm thinking, ain't I get away, honking now, we're not doing it now. And he goes, yeah, man, it's cool. I said, you sure? He goes, we got no problem with them. I spoke to Bally. He goes, why we got a problem with them for? We haven't got a problem with them. So I went back to Movie Box. I looked at Bally and Booter on board. They're putting their names to it, and they're cool with it coming to Movie Box. And they was like, they haven't got a problem with us. I said, no. I said, they think you got a problem because we haven't got a problem. Do you know what I mean? And so obviously that helped clear the air with them guys. And during that whole process, they signed back to Movie Box as well. And yeah, so then at that time, then Shindap had done collaborations and he had a DVD pack. So I said to Cameron, let's do a DVD pack for the album as well. And he was like, Yar, what are you doing, man?
You're killing me.
And he to be fair, he did it. So we had 3-4 videos. We had interviews on there, like with B21, obviously myself, a couple of other people, some live footage. And then at that time, because I started with Bally and Bootas, the word on the street was that I was joining Bally and Booter in B21, which was never ever the case. It wasn't even a conversation. Do you know what I mean? So, and I remember, like, the night before the album was coming out, it's getting released on November the 17th. And Cameron rings me on the Thursday night. Muka, a couple of artists went to Movie Box that night on the Thursday night. And they just Kuldeep went through. I didn't know they should lay out all the stock the night before. And these two artists came there, producers, right, and robbed the cassette the night before it came out. Because all the parts are all level with the same amount, stacked up for deliveries. Huh. And they was watching all the cameras, watching them, like walking past, just swiped it off the top. That's how bad it was. That's how much jealousy was out there at that time.
What for them to try and leak it or something?
I don't know what it was. I think what it was, because Bally and Booter come back on the scene after a long time. And obviously there's Zeus on it, there's Oman on it. In the market, there's a lot of hoo-ha, a lot of talk. And plus, like, the videos are playing at that time, like from Baldio as well. Movie Box are giving it the full push. At that time, we had ads on B4U, on Z Music, on PTC. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all this stuff, you just Kuldeep keep falling into place. Then obviously we had Steve and Juggy from DCS doing some production on that album as well, called there was under Project Asia, and I call that album Never Look Back, because the thing would be on there, don't keep looking at thinking, I wish I'd have done this, or I wish I'd have done that, I wish I'd have done this. Ekbari, I thought, talk on Ekbari. The Kiyogi Yunta. Do you know what I mean? And
well,
so that was
you did that with your launch party though, didn't you?
Oh, that was on the next album. So on the next one, that's when we got all the album ready. Zeus was on that one again. Boot was on it. Balu was on it. Oman was on it. And then me and Cam were sitting outside Movie Box on Litchfield Road on a Sunday afternoon, trying to think of what that one song that we need for the album. So we went through some old stuff, and Cam said, let's redo the Manak song. I said, but who's going to do it? And then we spoke to Oman. Oman, obviously, then Oman goes, yeah, I'll do it. Got the vocal sent over from Manj in Canada. And then Oman sort of remixed it, put the new flavor on it. And the delay in that album coming out was because Manak's album wasn't well. And he had to feature in the video. So we had to wait 4 or 5 months for him to get better to do the video. And even the day we done that video was in Chandigarh. Youth came, Panche Bari aa gaya, with lads and gone back, watching what's going on. I was thinking, Manak, man, is he going to come? Is he going to come? Is he going to come? I'll give you. Then about 8:30 at night, Manak came. And in an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, done all his lip sync, done all his bits, and he's gone again.
How was he on the set? Did you remember you?
Nah, he was cool. He's cool. Like, he was proper, like, chilled. Do you know what I mean? He was proper cool. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't giving it any, like, he was like, Hans Adam does, do you know what I mean? He's like really supporting, and obviously he heard the tune and he liked the tune as well. And he goes, "Phatte chakde on kana main karda nahi hunna idda." Do you know what I mean? And so yeah, so we done the video for that, got that ready. Then I thought, you know what? I'd never done a show before, and I thought, you know what? I want to do a launch party. I said to Cam, I want to do a launch party, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "For the album." He goes, "Who are you going to put on it?" I done it like a complete fan.
Yeah.
Again, shocked. I wasn't like, oh yeah, I wouldn't book this person, I wouldn't book that person. I'd have done it completely. If I was looking at a flyer, who would I want to go and see? So I booked Jazzy. At that time, Umbi Bilga gave me so much advice on the launch party as well. He was really supportive.
And what year was this? Because it's important.
2009.
Because it's important to notice that the people you had on there were peak.
Yeah, 2009. So in 2007 was the Never Look Back album. At that time, Satya Sanaya, the B21 stuff, all the Oman stuff was all current when we done the tracks with them guys. Then this one come in 2009, October the 16th, the launch party was at the Tower Ballroom. And at Jazzy Shinda, we had B21, Dr. Zeus, Oman Haya, and Grace Ali, Hunters, Jazz Dami, Rana Sahota. Who else was there? Then we had Manak Sabani, and he wasn't well again. He wasn't well enough to travel. Then Umbi rang me. At that time, Jatta Ho Gaya, Sharabi, Parlega, Didi Chabi, the Baljit Malwa tune was out. Umbi goes, I think Malwa's coming to the UK. I said, book him. He went, you don't even, I said, just book him. Right? As long as he's on that date, he's sorted. So within 2 days, we confirmed Malwa, put him on the flyer, made the advert, put it out. And at that time, I think if we get 700 people in, the show will pay for itself and it'll be a blessing. Do you know what I mean? That's all I was waiting for. Praying. Then Asia said, we'll film it. I thought, that's cool. I remember because Paul Marwaha done got the artwork done for me because I took the whole show ready. But I wasn't a promoter. I was like, how do I push this? Do you know what I mean? And then the only person left that we booked last minute before the artwork happened was H. Dummy. Then I thought, you know what, even if someone else is going to put a show on somewhere else, in my head, my ethos was that if I'm another promoter, I would rather not do a night and I'd rather come here. I wanted to make it that appeal that even other promoters would want to come to this night rather than do their own.
It had to be on I remember it was early because the amount of acts that were on there.
Yeah, started at 7 o'clock. And at that night, I turned my phone off. And there's a kid from Leicester, Jogi. And he was there. And like Taj and he were wicked, like Taj and Serge from UBD. They put extra, whatever I wanted, they've done it. And it was like, yaar, tu karta kiya? I said, yo, yaar, come on, man. And Punjab 2000 was there filming it. Brit Asia filmed it. And I spoke to Jogi about 7:30, 7:45. I said, yaar, how's it going? He went, bro, there's about 1,000 people inside and about 500 people outside. I said, yaar, shut up, man. We got gigs all the time. No one turns up till 9 o'clock. What are you talking about? Yaar, honestly, I got there about 9:30 and Jazz Dummy was playing. And it was rammed. I was like, what is going on? So we done all the count afterwards. I left there at 10 to 4 in the morning and Jazzy was still playing. And when we went on that stage that night, we played the Manak song and that. Yeah. That makes all of it worthwhile when you see stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? When the people are just like, in the end, we had 2,700 people in total. And they still turned loads around the door. And Brit Asia was doing that Brit Asia Superstar thing. They were doing auditions outside as well. Then Brit Asia aired it on Christmas Day.
I remember we got in through the kitchen.
The top.
yeah.
Because I remember we was waiting for Pete Uni and Jazzy Uni to come. And we got him in through the top. And I don't know, 3 cars came. I don't know where all these other people come back. 30 people walked in from the top.
Yeah, I weren't one of those 30. We were like legit. We came in, but you can't blame a few of us. I'm not watching them.
No, yeah, it is what it is, and they're like, that was like, even the gig was never money orientated or money driven. It wasn't. It was done on pure shonk. And even today, like I can proudly say that it's still the busiest launch party to date.
And that was before online and everything as well, wasn't it? It was all like word of mouth
and it used to be high tickets at high tech, tickets at all the cassette shops, a millions. And I, in the morning, I used to ring up the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. In the morning, I'd get up 9:30. I'd ring all the ticket agents. Have you got any left? What are you doing, man? I said, you need to sell these tickets, man. Do you know what I mean? And but Touchwood, like it was like Touchwood. Barbie girlfriend's like been a good night, man. Do you know what I mean? So, and then after that Toba Toba album, we just done a couple of singles and stuff. Worked with Sanj. So overall, was very lucky to sort of the people we've been able to work with was all the people I wanted to work with. The people we've met through it, like the only artists I've never seen live or never got a chance to meet was Sadhu Sekandarji. Everyone else, Sajid Bindrakia, Manmohan Waris, Gardas Manji, everybody, we've like always met everybody. And then we sort of just shifted into promotion.
So
last minute.
No. I'm look. If you're looking at it now, you're top of your game. You've just done one of the busiest launch parties. You've done a couple of singles after. You're at the peak of your powers. I mean, like at that time, the world's your oyster, really, in terms of going forward. So basically, what happened then?
Yeah, like, but at that, like, I think after that, I'd worked with everybody I wanted to work with. We've done the launch party, and it was just, I don't know, it's that, because it's always like a shark thing. There's not a lot else that I wanted to do.
Did you fall out of love with singing?
No, not at all. It's like, obviously, I wouldn't be doing the promotion shows instead afterwards. So then, what happened, I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life after that, which sort of took a back seat from the music and the shows for a bit. Even though we made some music in the background, released a few singles here and there. And then next thing was 2014. Cameron was doing the first Diljit Dosanjh tour. So I was part of the team with them for that. That was like just madness, like doing the arena tours. Then we done the 2016 Diljit one. Then in 2017, we done Jasmine Sanders and Shariman. Then 2018, we were the first people to bring Sidhu Musiala to the UK. We done his shows. That was only booked as well because it's my dad's 60th birthday, and I booked Sidhu
upstairs, City Suite.
Yeah. Upstairs was his birthday party, and that's it. We had a gig on. So even that Sidhu tour was just sort of more so because my dad's 60th birthday. I wanted to do something different, so we had Sidhu come over, and then we done a couple of shows.
Paid for his flight.
Trust me. And then after that, we brought Amrit Man over for the first time. Even though we didn't physically do the shows, that's how we sold the shows on. And then there's loads of, like, obviously, it's just like.
So you went from being in front of the camera to almost going from behind it, but just working that promotion side of things. Is that fair to say?
Like, even that even that was Shank. People that we wanted to work with or wanted to bring. You're just like, what, this guy's killing, let's try and get him, let's bring him. It's never ever been tactical or money motivated. It's always, as long as it clears itself, it's Shank. Like, as a fan, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, I remember, like, my launch party, he was more excited about Jazzy playing. Like, what time Jazzy coming on, he's gonna smash it when he comes at you. So I mean, like, so it's always been. It's never been that sort of money driven. If that makes sense. Like, even with the Diljit, we was with him like for, I think, 11, 12 days while he's in the UK every single day. We wasn't taking photos with him every day or every 2 seconds, or we're eating here, we're doing this, we're doing that. I think we had one photo on the last day. It's more about the buzz. That, when you walk into an arena and there's like so many thousands of people there. It's mad. Like, it's that's the buzz. Do you know what I mean? And just like these AP Dylan shows at the moment, everyone's going wild. Like, the turnout's ridiculous. For the promoters and the artists, when you're walking out to something like that, it's crazy.
But how do you, like you said, you've worked with quite a lot of the artists then. You're covering and hiding probably some of the stuff that they don't need to see. And you're balancing the books. You got all these kind of pressures on there. How then do you kind of manage egos to make sure, like, they value your opinion, or you got to kind of manage their expectations? Because the worst thing that can happen is that you've got a big artist, you bring him over, you tell him that there's a gig there, and there's about 15 people that have turned up.
Like, we've been lucky, like, all the events we've done to now, they've all sort of done all right. Like the Shari and Jasmine ones, both of them sold out. The Sidhu one sold out. Even like obviously Chewy sold this Jazzy V one. You've done the Blue with Azza.
You've done Charlie Slough as well.
Charlie Slough. We've done Charlie Slough with the AU party. We've done Notes, the rapper. Done Hardy Caprio, the rapper. We've been lucky. Do you know what I mean? Got to work with a lot of people, man.
So how do you, just going back to your skills bit, what's the most important thing that you feel that when you're working with an artist to help manage egos or manage
as long as if you be real with them, you stay cool with them. Like, if you're not, the thing is, the artists see it every day. Like, they see who's trying to do an event and who's trying to build their own profile. The people are trying to let the whole world know, where we so-and-so, take photos every 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, get the phones out, going live in the car, going live here, going live there, doing this, doing that. We didn't do none of that. Like, we'd have a photo with them towards the end of the events or something like that. We never get the car no better and got our phone out to go live or call our cousins down or enu sadliya. We don't do none of that. We just keep it real with them, innit? And so I think they respect that they can be themselves.
What was the one, like, I've had Prash on here from Desi Beats, and he was saying at some stage during COVID it was really touch and go. How, as a promotion outfit, how did you guys cope through that period? I know we were speaking. I was trying to help you as much as I could in information wise, but how did it from a business point of view? How damaging was that?
Because we're not full-time promoters, it's not our bread and butter. We'll do it. Sean and I, if there's someone that we think, this person is banging, we'll do it. So it's never, touch wood, it's never been like a sort of a risk. Like obviously Cameron Honey, New Box done the Diljit ones as part of the team then, which was obviously a banker show. He's a buzz. Then we done Sidhu, which is a banker show. Then we did obviously the Shari and Jasmine ones as well, which are a banker show. So we've been fortunate enough. We only go in for shows that we believe in ourselves.
With the Jazzy one now, which was just done recently in Birmingham, that was that fanboy moment again.
100%, man. 100%. Like DJ Azza, he's like one of the best student promoters in Birmingham at the moment. The guy's got a massive pull, and we see him regularly. He done a night with Lembert with a PA, and I was chatting to him on a Sunday evening. I said, "Yeah, do Jazzy, man. Let's do Jazzy." And he went, he himself, the last time he's seen Jazzy was on my launch party in 2009. Sorry, bro. Last time he seen last time he saw Jazzy was on my launch party in 2009. Now it's 2022. And the thing was, these kids now, the new students and the new generation, the new youth, they've never even seen a live band. We was telling them, listen, look, Jazzy's coming, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what do you mean, with a band? And there's saying, but Jazzy B's on his own in the videos. What do you mean there's a band? They couldn't grasp the concept. It was mad. But one thing you see, even the youth of today, the music's very Western, very urban, generally what's happening on the scene. But when Nag drops, or Yar Bolda, or Dupatta Tera Satrangda, or any classic tune, it goes off. The kids just Tere Tileto, or any Gardas song, it still goes off. So the kids are still related to that era, even though they're these kids now. There's over 1,000 tickets sold. This Jazzy B one on the Sunday night. Me and Azza spoke about it. Planned it for February the 9th, which was, I think it was 16 days afterwards the show was. I messaged to book Jazzy, got him booked up. On the Wednesday night we announced it, and in the first 15 minutes, we sold 573 tickets.
Ridiculous.
Do you know what I mean? And that was another one that, is Jazzy, man. He's going to be sick. So obviously, the thing is, with these artists that we're cool with, or we're fans of ourselves, you Jana do more. Bought extra sounding. Do you know what I mean? Bought extra security in. Bought an extra staging. Because you know how Jazzy wants to perform and do all his stuff. So it's any comment that you do in life, not even music, anything that you do, whether it's passionate about a football team or whatever it is, if you're doing something that you got shonk with, you go that extra mile. if you're doing something just for the sake of doing it, you just do how much you're supposed to do on it. And
we're just talking a little bit about nostalgia, and you can see how they've obviously there's still a market. Have you
100%.
Have you ever thought about getting another single out?
Yeah, we got tunes ready. Like, I've got tunes that are done by Zeus that I haven't released. Do you know what I mean? It's like Cameron's even said to me a few times, "Yaar, kaddiye, and even do lyrical videos, whatever. Just get them out. They're sitting there, you and I was like, I don't know, maybe I feel past all that, like a bit older now, you.
But if it doesn't
I've got kids that are grown up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm not asking you to dance on stage and bring in that extra stage. You know what I'm saying? The crime is this is a repeated pattern whenever I get somebody from music on here, that they've got so much kind of unreleased stuff. It's almost criminal that it won't ever see the light of day. It's better to be out there and people get a chance to kind of enjoy the music than rather it just being left on a hard drive.
No, I think like, you know what it is, like, you know, in the Panjabi crew, there's a lot of like sort of what I've seen in the public in any type of stuff. There's a lot of haters, a lot of jealous people. Do you know what I mean? Like say the Manak track. When Manak went on Brit Asia, he done an interview with Suki Bar, and he asked him about the tune. And Manak said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I took Manak there, I was standing there. I took him to the interview. And then obviously afterwards, oh, people messaging me. Oh, it's that whole Manak doesn't even know who you are. Blah, 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 all this stuff, right? I'm like, he stood in the studio and recorded a tune with me. We've done a video together. I took him to the concert, to the recording of the interview. The thing is, people like that, they don't need to do it. If they say yes, he does it, there are 50 other people phoning him. So they just play oblivious just to stop that sort of attraction or people trying to do it. Do you know what I mean? So, and like in general, like say with this tune now, like say I've got these tunes that are ready. I can say they were ready from 2000. When you bring them out, देखिए फेल आप या ready होया, and you know, like,
but why? But
I'm happy with what I've done. Do you know what I mean? And so I've got nothing else to prove.
No, but you said like we started an interview. You were saying like do music for yourself and you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Then why would you then be bothered about what those haters are doing it now?
It's not. It's what it is. Like, you know, yeah. The thing is, I've done everything I wanted to do. I've worked obviously done the track with Manak Saab, done a tune with Pooja, done a tune with Hunters, worked with B21, Zeus, Oman Hair, done movie box, Natural, had released in India, had released with Music Waves in Canada and America, done videos with Baldio, done videos with Colossus, done videos with Ballistic. So the thing is, yeah, you know, could I say it's like the one thing I always said was like there's always been a Shank thing. I've never been in it to prove a point or to get to this or get to that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm content. Like obviously, like now I'm doing a lot more stuff in the Gora market, like you mentioned, Charlie and everyone. So it's my thing is I've got nothing left to prove. Like I'll just do it. Like you know what? Day I wake up and think, you know what? Sorry, put it out. I'll do it, but I'm not going to do it for the sake of doing it. If that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing to prove.
If anyone's listening, all these odd sounds is like he's having some building work done there, I'm guessing, somewhere in the club where you're at.
They're trying to I think they're hinting me to get out. Yeah, man, cool.
You've experienced quite a lot in terms of numerous album singles through your I would say through your 20s really. What you've seen the rise of UK bhangra again, especially at this moment after there was been a bit of a power struggle between India, Canada and the UK. You've got a lot of young UK kind of singers and stuff who might have been on the similar kind of path to you. What advice do you have for those guys?
No, all I can say is that do it, Sean, and do what pleases you. Like everyone's got dreams. Like say at the moment, like say there's a lot of massive producers out there. Like there's obviously the people like Frenzy, there's Intense, there's Desi Crew. So there's even alongside all like the Oman Hairs, your Dr. Zeus's and everything, there's a lot more. So the new age are here, like people don't have like Karan Aujla, they're doing a lot of collaborations with Sidhu. So all I can say is nobody's unreachable. Do you know what I mean? Just put your mind to like listen, I was a kid from Smedic. I ended up doing a duet with Kuldeep Manak. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I was sitting in India or in Ludhiana, I went looking for him. Do you know what I mean? He was in Birmingham.
You came to Warsaw?
So, yeah, trust me. So the thing is, just if you got, whether it's music or anything, if you got a passion or a dream, just go for it, man. That's why that album's called Never Look Back, because you don't want to look back and think, you know what, at that point, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. Do you know what I mean? Look at them, like, you know, until you do it, everyone will be saying, yeah, shut up, man. What are you doing, man? You ain't going to do this. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do this. But, you know, when you do it, that's when people are like, you know what, shit. Like, look at, say, that the Panjabi girl, that Neelam Gill. She's a worldwide model, rolling out with the supermodels. Normal girl from Coventry. Do you know what I mean? If she just said to someone, I want to be a supermodel, they got bet here, I'm not. It's no Punjabi, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So if you're going to do something, go for it, man. Like all these TikTokers and YouTubers and stuff, just do it, man. Nothing's impossible. You can get to whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, this is called the Bandwagon, and I asked my guests a single question, which is basically, is there anything that they want to jump on a bandwagon, jump off a bandwagon, or if there's anything they want to get off their chest, this is the time where I ask them.
Yeah, the ironic thing is, you know, me and my little crew, there's me, Taga, Johnny, Pav, and Manny. We used to be called the Bandwagon.
Is this Manny Tucker?
Yeah, we call ourselves the Bandwagon, right? And because we're the same, you know, from day dot, it's the same 4 or 5 of us till right at the end. Do you know what I mean? We just call ourselves the Bandwagon, and even with that, like, you know, us lot, we'd have more banter and jokes on the way there and back. So it's never like sort of professionalized. It's always just a group of mates going out. Like the thing, half the gig would have gone to anyway. Because I remember we used to get more excited about playing at half of these. Like I remember before this promoter called Reese, when Satyan Sanayan Under the Influence everything was out, Lember was at the top of his game. Jazzy had released Romeo and he was flying. Yeah. And Reese done Lember versus Jazzy at Victoria Suite in Cape Hill.
Yeah, yep. And
was playing on there. And so, you know, just to be on these gigs that all these like, stars are on, we'd just be buzzing we'd have gone anyway because we're like fans. Do you know what I mean? So we should get
I might as well tell you now, it was Manny who got me in your launch party.
Yeah. Trust me, there's gonna be like hundreds. Like, listen, I know that day.
He owes you 20 quid.
Yeah, let me count his ones first. Get your one. And now, but like things like, you know, stuff like so he's always, even with us like me, Johnny, Taga, Pav, Manny, is always just us like having banter, laugh, going out like as a group. Do you know what I mean? It's never like went in with that chip on our shoulder that, oh, we come to perform. We're gonna have a laugh. We like some of the like banteries on the way back, like we should start, you know, the old mama jokes, just start doing them like idiots, like little kids, right? All the way back from like Leeds and back from London. Like it used to be, it'd be a good laugh, man. Like, so it's just like part of growing up really as well, isn't it? So it was good. So there's nothing to get off much. All I can say is there's gonna be a lot of people that be yes men and hangers on around you. And then the moment the tide turns a bit, they'll shit on you. So just keep people around you that add value to your life. Do you know what I mean? And don't be scared to go and do what you want to do. Because there's nothing that, like I said, I'm a kid from Smedic, worked with all these producers, met, I don't know, like Shah Rukh Khan, met Abhishek Bachchan, met Amitabh Bachchan. There's nothing impossible, do you know what I mean? Just got to put your mind to it and go for it. And don't be scared and thinking, go for it, man. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I really appreciate this rare interview, man. I know I had to I hassle this geezer for joking. So no, I really appreciate it for you coming
bro,
on.
thank you.
And anything you need a hand with or promoting, anything you need, and we'll definitely catch up, especially if those
100%,
singles or tracks coming out, you back on here, man. We'll do it. All right, bro.
I don't know about that. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
All right, respect.
Respect, yeah. Thank you, bro. Thank you.